What is going on YouTube? My name is Bancroft. Thank you for tuning in. And today, we got our top 4 matchup going on camera for our Showdown event. And yeah, like always, just buttons, links, check them out. But let's get into it. Today, the matchup is Boba Fett Yellow taking on Krennic Command. We haven't seen Boba Fett, so let's kind of go over the leaders. At least I don't think we've seen Boba Fett on camera at all during this event. So on the undeployed side, when an enemy unit leaves play, you may exhaust this leader. If you do, ready resources. So Boba Fett helps you kind of extend your plays. One of the things about this that a lot of times it doesn't come in handy at all, but when it does, it's pretty awesome. And then on the deploy side, when this unit completes an attack, if an enemy unit left play this phase, ready up to 2 resources. So make sure you remove an enemy unit somehow before you make an attack. And then on Krennic, undeployed gives a +1/+0 to all damage friendly units. And then on the deploy side has restore 2 with the same effect afterwards, which is pretty nice. In the first kind of plays here we got in the phase 1, we have Inferno 4 hitting the board, getting a nice little scry 2, figuring out what cards are important, what cards to keep. And then we also have Crafty Smuggler hitting the board, which on play gives itself a shield. So a little extra protection there. Also, I didn't mention, but Krennic is playing ECL, so that way you know eventually that's going to probably come into effect. And if it doesn't, it happens. Super Leader Technician hitting the board. Krennic 1 gets that ramp, and they do have a Boba Fett does have a unit on board, so they're going to get that off to some degree. And Boba Fett itself, the unit hits the board. It's a 3/5. Then on attack, if this unit is attacking an exhausted unit that didn't interplay this round, deal 3 damage to the defender, which is pretty cool because initially it could be a 6/5 depending on what you're attacking into. Get the Super Laser Technician to bounce so you can remove the shield on Crafty Smuggler. Getting the extra ramp here was very nice. Traitorous hitting the board, stealing the Boba Fett. It's very sneaky. I mean, it worked out in his favor having that ramp and whatnot. We got Brody on play. So here we have, looks like Power of the Dark Side. We had a couple other things, but he immediately was like, yeah, no, this is what I want to hit. So Boba Fett going out and just taking out the Brody. Inferno 4 getting a nice little attack. And we have Krennic hitting the board for an early 2-point heal. So we're sitting in the next round. We have it sitting at what, 5-6 on resources right now. And it is the Boba Fett player's lead. No good to me dead. Good card for control. So pretty much it exhausts a unit, and the unit cannot ready this round. So keeping Krennic down, so no healing on the Krennic side. And following up with the Cartel Spacer, which a bit confused. If you control a yellow unit, exhaust enemy unit, I think he exhausted the Boba Fett there, which could have been wrong. But I do not think Boba Fett got any damage in, so I think he did exhaust it, which it shouldn't have happened. Leader has hit board and kind of taking out the, I can't remember what her name is, but her effect is that you call a card and then your opponent can't play that card. Again, a waylay to kind of bounce Boba Fett back to the Boba Fett's hand. Steadfast Battalion hitting the board. We're using the ECL to kind of just take out Boba Fett itself, the leader. But we do have Fett's Fire Spray hitting the board, which is a 5/6, which is pretty nice. What's great about this window is that if you control Boba Fett or Jango Fett as a leader or a unit, ready this unit. So pretty much it comes out ready to go, getting a swing out where it can. It does have an action where you can pay 2 to exhaust a non-unique unit. Keep in mind that doesn't exhaust itself, so you could literally just go action, pay 2, exhaust that, action, pay 2, exhaust that if you wanted to. I think at 15 to 7 right now. So 15 to 12 now. Okay, there it is. Getting a couple more damage back and forth. Going to 18-10 because of the heal on Krennic. And adding a little 2 extra points of damage. And we have Guido hitting the board here. Now when Guido will be removed, you can mill the top card of your deck. And if it happens to be a non-unit, you can deal 2 damage to any ground unit, which is kind of nice. We do have a... Yeah, he did have Sentinel, but it didn't matter because Vader hit the board to clear it out right off the bat. A lot happened very quickly. And it looks like the Boba Fett player decided to just go to game 2. That's what I'm starting to see also. Like the higher we go up in these top rounds, from like going from round 1 to 5, games are going by a lot quicker. It's also later in the day. So at this point, we've been playing for, by the time they got to the top 4, I think they've been playing for roughly 6 hours. Because we started this event, I think at 1. I think this round is that happened like at maybe 6:50 or 7 o'clock. And some of these players, I don't think any of these players end up playing each other at all during the actual rounds. If they did, they kind of get a little bit more knowledge that way. We do, so in round 2, we did have the sideboard. We got another Brody hitting the board. Got a couple options here. Power Dark Side, Vigilance, Traitorous. Questions what to hit. He decided not to hit the, he's like, no, I don't want the Still Fast Battalion. So we are getting rid of the Power Dark Side and ending this phase. The things that Vigilance will come, not Vigilance, sorry, I said it's Vanquish, sorry. Vanquish will become active this turn as soon as he swings with this Technician. And yeah, Power Dark Side is a cheaper alternative when your opponent only has 1 card on the board, and that might be the thought process there. And at least with Brody, if he wanted to, he could at least get a damage out before he activated Vanquish. I don't think he will on Brody, but you never know. So we're on Boba Fett's turn right now, deciding what to play here. He knows what's in the Krennic's hand, and Krennic is now sitting at 5 resources. So yeah, getting the Brody damage out now. Deploying Krennic himself. Getting this unit, which only gains Sentinel when you have another yellow unit on play. And then ECLing the Steadfast Battalion to kind of get rid of it. That way Krennic attack into the base safely if you wanted to, or even to Brody, and get a heal 2 off it. Sitting at 6-5 when it comes to resources. Krennic is sitting at 3 damage, which puts him at 4 remaining health right now. And Boba Fett does have the initiative. Something I also didn't mention earlier, if these are decks you guys are playing, let me know in the comments down below what you think about them and how you're enjoying the game as well. Bosk, right? Yeah, Bosk. Couldn't remember his name for half a second. And I always forget to turn my phone off during these recordings. So Boss hits the board with its ambush, kind of taking out Krennic, and then following it up with make an opening, which is really good for two reasons. He was able to get rid of Bosk, but then also it heals his base by 2. And Boba Fett going over and clearing out the Still Fast Battalion, which does 6 points of damage to him, which puts him at 1 health. Very open to anything now. We got Krennic taking the initiative here. We are sitting at 9-1 still right now. Actually, no, sorry, not 9-1. We're sitting at 9-0 because of all the healing that's been happening. Overwhelming Barrage, using that to just clear up the board, very good. And that'll also make Inferno 4, make it a 4-4. And we'll, yeah, there we go. Sitting at 6 resources, and they decided to just take the initiative, taking the 4 damage from Inferno 4. And that will be a pass as well. Going to 13-0. Seven to 8 resources. We've got a lot of plays that can be happening here. Bosk hits the board. And as a reminder, when Bosk is on... Well, okay, never mind. When Bosk is on board, though, whenever you play an event, you may deal 2 damage to a unit, which is kind of nice. But Vader hitting the board doesn't help out at all. We got the Admiral out here, which gives units with a cost higher than 6 ambush. Very nice. Especially in late game, we have this much resources to play. Boba Fett does take the initiative once more. We're sitting at 15-0. An 8 resource to to 9 resource. Change of heart. Gonna steal that Vader. They're playing 8 for the reinforcement walker, which actually, hang on. Each really non-leader unit costs 6 or more. Yeah, okay, so yeah. Playing reinforcement walker, which on play and on attack will allow him to draw cards. He doesn't need to heal, so he's just gaining more hand advantage, taking out his own Vader this way. And that was a pass after kind of going to 18 points of damage. Nine to 10 now on resources. Another change of heart is going to take that reinforcement walker. And we got a takedown. Yeah, I think that was takedown just to get rid of it. So it's one of those things where it's just like, he's like, yeah, you can have it, but I'm getting rid of it right away. Brody hits the board once more. Looking at this hand, Vigilance, Vanquish, Make an Opening, and Traitorous. Like, that's a good control hand, unfortunately. And I don't know what, I'm like, when, in that situation, if I see that, I'm like, yeah, I don't know what to do. He ends up getting Vigilance out of the way. We're here, we're just poking damage at the unit, following up with 2 damage to the base, putting it 20-0. And then we got a Traitors coming in here. So we're debating on pulling a card right now. See, it is Cunning. Most likely using Cunning's 2 effects to bounce Brody back to hand exhaust 2 cards. You can also give a unit +4/+0, or it can make your opponent discard a card at random. Very nice. We do have Regional Governor coming aboard, and he did call Brody raw at the bat, but Syndicate Lackey coming in with the ambush to just clear it right off, just get rid of it. The Academy Defense Walker, which does have a Sentinel, and then on play gives the experience token to each friendly damage unit. Very nice. Now, he did forget about that. I think in the audio he states as well. He did forget about it gaining ambush because it's his Admiral he has on board right now. But it is a 5/5, and they are sitting at 25 points of damage. So I think he'll end up having to sacrifice his Syndicate Lackey just to not take that damage. But we'll see what happens. Yeah, just to save face. Now, unfortunately, we are sitting at 3 damage here because of both the experience token and also because of Krennic. But then the only option they had left, unfortunately, does not exhaust a unit, and that does give game to Krennic. Thank you all for tuning in, and stay tuned for our finals. Bye.